Welcome. The Helpful Tips Show is on at 7 p.m. Tuesday and Thursday on the Key Webco YouTube channel. I am your host, Roger Keyserling, owner of Key Webco, where we make websites, we have social media feeds. As a matter of fact, we have our daily edition newspaper you should check out, new every 24 hours. We have eCom Tips podcast, where we transmit our daily Facebook Live show and our Tuesday and Thursday show. You're always welcome to check out keywebco.net and keywebco.com for great shopping and so much more. I'm glad you are here with us today at Helpful Tips via eCom Tips podcast. We have many shows and we even have apps. Check out our Recipes for You app. It's awesome and we're glad you're here. Welcome. Well, hello everybody. I think we have gone live. I think we've got music playing in the background and everything seems to be working okay. I am over here on D Live, kind of monitoring. We are still not streaming to YouTube, but I am on D Live, so I can leave comments and testing that. That seems to be working fine. Myself, my moderator, everybody I know has a little bit of the flu, so I took a really, really hot shower to try to be able to breathe well, and I have a little bit of a temperature, but not too bad. I'm not all real sick yet, so. Hey, Lee, you made it in here. You're over there on Twitch, and Perfect Finds is over there. Awesome. The show tonight is going to be pretty simple and straightforward. I've changed the format a little bit. You know, I'm going to be changing it up, trimming it down, too. These shows are going to be quick and fast. I'm also going to have little sections where I pre-record, but we'll talk about that as we go further into the show. Of course, as you see going through the screen that you see every week, I always start off with this helpful tip screen. Everybody that's in here watching us right now, of course, know who I am and what we do, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but if you haven't watched the show before, you can always read what's on the back screen and you'll know what we do. Always just go to keywebco.net. You can find it all. All right, so we're going to move on to the next window here. This is everyone's favorite part of this show, or at least it's my favorite part, because I get to spam my own chat with my business. So feel free to do that. If you have a website, or you have a blog, or you have an eBay store, or a Mercari store, yeah, you can share their profile. Feel free to share that. Please do not share individual items for sale. That's just spammy. But feel free to put your website links in, Facebook pages, whatever, and you're welcome to do that at any point throughout the show. You don't have to do it just at this time. So if you're watching a replay and you feel like leaving your link, you can do that on YouTube. These shows are always uploaded to YouTube. I do it in the middle of the night. It takes quite a long time. If I'm not streaming there, and I'm still not streaming there, I am going to get it sorted. I got it to hold a little bit longer, but it's still not stable. And if you can't do it right, don't do it at all. So I will get that sorted. I think it'll be maybe Tuesday, maybe Monday. I can get it fixed. I don't have time to work on it tomorrow. All right. So Lee, Perfect Finds, everybody, feel free to put your links in. It can be to, Facebook page. It can be to whatever you want, actually. just so it's not individual items for sale. We are dropping a few frames, but it's not too awful compared to last week. Twitch is a little glitchy. The best way to view this show is actually on YouTube after I upload it, because when I record these, they come out perfect. All right, so we are going to move right along. This is today's topics. Today, it's going to scroll through. You're going to see about 3 or 4 topics run through the bottom of the screen. Basically, this just kind of plays. If you feel like asking questions or talking about anything along these subjects at any time, feel free to do so. This is my little intro telling me who I am. By the way, my name is Roger Keyserling. My business is keywebco.com and .net. First topic that we're going to discuss briefly, not very long, is HTML website and chat in your websites and chat. I really, really like my lobby and chat system. I've had a few conversations in there beyond group conversations. Tuesday, everyone in group, in the Helpful Tips group, which isn't very many, but hopefully we'll get more. Everyone, it is now the Helpful Tips e-commerce group. It is not the Helpful Tips Facebook group anymore. It's the Helpful Tips e-commerce group. You'll see that later in the show. I've done a few changes to the graphics. What do you think of this new kind of, instead of me changing, topic is time management. That's another thing we're going to talk about tonight. Instead of me going in and changing the scenes over and over and over again, we're going to talk about all of these few subjects and at the same time on this window. In other words, anything that's kind of scrolling in the background, if you see it go by and you have a question, okay, your electric popped off. Okay. If anything scrolls by and you happen to have a question, feel free to ask it. And we have a question and answer section coming up too. Another topic that we're going to discuss briefly, all these things very briefly, are websites and apps. I always talk about websites and apps. Now, I'm going to talk about it just because it is coming up in this screen. I do sell websites and stuff, so I am always going to encourage you to do it yourself. I like to get paid. Yes, I do like websites, but if you can do it yourself, I'm going to encourage you to do that and teach you how to do it. The way I help you do that is with apps and blogs. I have free apps. If you can read that, it's probably difficult to read, but you can find everything at keywebco.net. Another topic that we're going to be discussing briefly this evening are blogs, vlogs, and descriptions for your product items. If we're talking about writing, it's all writing. Even if I tell you it's about descriptions, if you have a question about a blog, if we're on topic, that means that general subject is what you can discuss with me. There's in the background there, you can always hit pause after the show's over and read those 10 little essential tips for writing, and that's writing anything. You need to make descriptions, not manufacture descriptions anymore. People are using voice to search, and so is the search engine itself. There are major changes coming out in January. I'm not releasing that information. I'm going to see if anyone else picks up on those things and releases them themselves. No, not naming anyone here. But there's a lot of things coming out in January that is going to affect a lot of people. One of those things that will be affected will be your YouTube reach and results. So along that lines, you do realize that YouTube and Google are the same thing, really, in a roundabout way. So that same kind of data trend and that same kind of change that's coming, we've all, as e-commerce people, have already been experiencing it. Well, it's just going to go into overdrive. So my business model, and we're talking about these subjects, they're scrolling around in the back. I decided, instead of giving all my power to YouTube and to Facebook and to Twitter and Instagram, which are very powerful tools, I'm not telling you not to use them, but why would I want to have a discussion on Facebook when I can have a discussion on my website? And I don't have to worry about bizarre things going on too much. Chat, if I don't want anyone there, I push a button. Bye, they're gone. You know, it's different. It's my website, it's my house. So instead of going to Facebook's house and having a lot of conversations with a lot of useless people. And that sounds terrible, but it's true. 90% of the people you talk to on Facebook, you listen to what they say, they listen to what you say, and then you find out they don't hear anything. So you're really wasting a lot of time there. I've been, since the change was thrust upon me in a roundabout way, I have been 10 times more productive. All of my businesses are booming, not affected by not using Facebook at all. But do realize my other networks are much larger than Facebook ever was. I started Facebook last. I didn't want to join. I didn't even mess with Facebook until 2010. My numbers on all the other sites were huge before then. So that's just an FYI. We're still dropping some frames, but not too terribly bad. So what do you guys think of the new little format scrolling through here? It's a little brighter. It's not so dark. I mix the dark and the light, so you're not always looking at a dark screen, not always looking at a bright screen. Now this, of course, is scrolled through several times. It's only a 2-minute video, but there are several topics. Now I've discussed almost all of them already. So we're going to give it another 2 minutes to scroll through. If you have any questions about any of these subjects, we are going to go a little further in depth as we go on through the show. But basically, this is my topics window. I will be recreating one of these every Thursday, adding 3 or 4 primary topics for discussion. Eventually, this scene, I told you I'm going to teach a little bit because there's not too many people watching. We have people on other networks, but not too much of my regular people. But eventually, this scene here, where I'm discussing the topics of the show, we'll have interviews. Looks good? Great. Looks good. It'll have interviews. It'll have side-by-side screens, live chats, all that. I figured out how to do all that. It's kind of a pain. I'm mostly going to want you to record. I'll record a question, send it to you. You record an answer, send it back. That way you're not live. You can record it over and over and get it where it's like if you have a hair out of place, you can fix it. I don't really like live. I used to do eCom Lab live, and I love that, but that was a whole big window, 10, 20 of us. Well, normally it was 4 to 6, and then sometimes we would Zoom where I would do, I'm going to start doing that again. I would do a meetup. People would ask me to speak at their meetup. We just Zoom conference. I love Zoom, by the way. It's my favorite. But you know what? If we have a meetup from this point forward, I don't have to Zoom. I don't have to do anything. We're going back to topic. All I have to do is say, well, all you have to do is open keywebco.net. Ask your questions. I'll pop on the video, and you can use just my website. You don't have to have any special software. People can look at it on their phones or whatever they want. It's best on a PC. So I'm really enjoying having that HTML chat. It is not overly expensive. You can do free versions. I obviously am not. But I'm only paying, what's the equivalent? $22.70, I think. I pay in pounds, so I think in American dollars it's like $22.70 I pay a month to be able to have extra bells and whistles that I haven't even shown anyone yet, and we're not going to discuss that in this show today. That's another reason I'm talking about this a little long. I'm going to do a whole show, blog, big deal about, and I'm going to do it before January. There's a reason for that. About how to use HTML chat and how to use website chat and ping, Apple Business. I've actually had a sale on Apple Business, by the way. So, Mighty Network. Those are all things that you use to communicate with your buyers beyond just the general Facebook. I had made the mistake of embedding Facebook Messenger as my primary communication system. But if I had done Shopify Ping when I was still connected to Facebook Messenger, all of those contacts, all 5,000 some of my friends' contacts would still be available to me to communicate on Shopify Ping. They would get an alert on Facebook Messenger, but I didn't have those connected when it got closed. It really ticks me off because while I was on for that day before they screwed me with my account again, I was about 10 minutes away from reconnecting the ping, but I didn't want to do it until I got my approval email, which I had just gotten, and then it kicked me off again. Unsecured account. I'm still ticked. I'm suing them, by the way. But that's another topic. All right, time management is another topic in this section that we didn't discuss yet, and I'll discuss that before we move on to the next window very briefly. Time management is very easy. You manage your time. What more is there to say? You properly manage your time is where all the discussion comes, and that's very simple. All you do is go to keywebco.net, hit blogs, scroll down not very far because I did that blog not terribly long ago, and I've actually working on a time management blog that is mutating into an app. So I'm working on that now, so it's getting a lot of stuff added to it all the time. So that's always a good time to read my blogs. When I am working on the blog is the best time to read it because I put tons in and then I take a lot out. So when I'm working on blogs is when you're going to actually get the best information. All right, so we have covered all of the little topics today, or at least I basically addressed them. Yes, we all need that. For example, my time management example, I'll talk about it a little bit. I get up early, but it's winter. And very soon I'll be breaking ice for cows, and that's not fun. I have a little mask on. It's like awful. But so I get up extremely early. I also never sleep, so I go to bed very, very late. So my time management schedule is as follows. If you want to get a hold of me, the best time to reach me, the best way to reach me is Shopify Ping. Or go to keywebco.net, leave a message in my chat, and I'll pop back in there whenever we schedule a time. Or go to the bottom of the page at keywebco.net and use that message system. That one is actually, I'm actually going to cancel it. It won't matter because I'm going to cancel it to be the pop-up and I'm going to replace it with the ping. But I'm waiting for the monthly subscription to run out. It costs me $10 a month for that. I don't pay anything for Shopify Ping. But if I did pay them a little bit more, I would have some extra features that I want. I wanted SMS text. I don't have that with Strikingly yet. And it's not that they don't offer it. I can't get it to work. So if it was $10 a month and it would work SMS, you wouldn't even hear about Shopify Ping because I'd kick it off. I'd use this over on Shopify. But Shopify Ping is the best, guys. It works on multiple platforms. It embeds very easily. I'm recommending that, actually. The other thing that I'm recommending, and it doesn't cost you any money just for messaging, I pay a little bit for some branding options, is the Mighty Network. You can always reach me in private communications there. Now, that is my favorite. You have all these options. All of them you're going to get seen either in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or 7 o'clock at night. 7, 3, and 7. That's when I'm always available for communications, pretty much. On my website, on my phone, wherever. The reason I do that is because all of the rest of the time I'm extremely busy or getting medical care or something else. And by filtering my communication times into those slots, I've been able to double my workload without double the drain on my body. I'm actually able to get a little bit of sleep. I'm able to sleep a couple hours a night. So we're talking about time management. So the blog that I have on there at keywebco.net is very, very good. There are some excellent time management apps and everything I have put in there. You need to check it out. All right, we're going to get out of this. The white's getting on my nerves. Question and answers, if you have any, you can write them anytime. We're not going to stay on that window either. All right, this is the Helpful Tips Show live stream update. In here, I continue to talk about what we are doing, not as a group, but what I'm doing as a business. And it does affect Helpful Tips because what I do affects the few members that I do have and the several that will be joining very, very soon, probably in January. Those are people in my European Union group and one I was interviewed for, but I'm not going to drop their name because I haven't gotten a written release. I have a big, long 3-hour interview where people ask me in depth, how can you take this crappy eBay, and this is years ago, and make money on it? We sell on Amazon, we make millions. We sell on eBay, we don't make anything. So they interviewed me. because I was the only one that would be bothered with like reselling and eBay stuff. These are big company people. Well, they are going to be working on my website. Most of them are building what I have already built. Now, you are listening when I'm telling you these things, right? Big shots in industry, much bigger than me, are friends of mine, and I'm actually interviewed yearly by some, and sometimes quarterly. Those people are going to be joining my website, but they would never join anything on Facebook, guys, I'll tell you that. So it is now called the Helpful Tips e-commerce group. There's a little bit more to that story, but we're not going to discuss that until after January. So that was a very subtle hint for everyone to learn how to make a website. It doesn't have to be fancy smancy. You can get one from me. It's pretty inexpensive getting one from me if you buy one, or I will help teach you how to do it. Or you can join the Helpful Tips group, which is at qwebco.net. There is also a communication avenue available on Facebook so far until all my posts ever made are taken down. 27 million, I think. Moving right along to the next subject. Business plan. That is something that is not in our topic for discussion for today, but every single show you are going to see this play in the background. Why do I always put the business plan, and you'll also see websites in every single show? Well, the reason I do that is without this business plan, and I'm talking about if you're a blogger, if you cut hair, if you are a baggage handler, if you drive bus, if you are a delivery man, if you are starting your own mail order business, if you're a publisher and publishing magazines, it does not matter what you are doing. If you are running a charity, if you are having a kids lemonade stand, there needs to be a business plan. Everything you do, and teach your children to make a business plan before they make their lemonade stand. I was taught that way. There's a reason I'm successful. I was properly taught how to be so. Well, I'm trying to do the same thing with everybody, and it doesn't matter what age you are. I know people that are 80 years old that act like they're 10, and I know people that are 10 that act like they're 70 or 80 and have the IQ to match it. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what point of the game you are learning things. The most important thing that you need to take away from any of my shows, anything I might teach, it might be advanced technical coding or whatever, if you only take away one major thing, take away that you need a business plan, and after you have your business plan, do more. That is the best advice anybody can give you. Then the addition to that business plan is make it adaptable. Write it in pencil. Figure out contingency plans. Don't use credit. Actually own the products you're selling and the profits you earn. Learn what the advantages are to platforms, websites, blogs. How do you make money? How do you combine those things into different combinations and be successful no matter what any branch of your business does? People used to ask me, why do you have 27 business pages on Facebook? I said, because I have 27 businesses, even though 3 or 4 of them may be the exact same thing. I ran my business pages and my websites for a long time like you would do an affiliate marketer. You want to look at some pretty good affiliate marketing websites that are being developed. Still need some edits and needs blogs in every one of them. Go check out Perfect Find Sites. Hopefully she'll put a link to one of her strikingly websites in there. I showed her how to do it, and she took off and did it in her own way. And it is in her own way. I've guided a little bit about what looks good and what doesn't, but she developed her own website as an affiliate marketer. My affiliation is she sells the QWebCo stuff. She has other stuff and her own stuff in there, which is what you should always do, diversify. But she has a pretty good example of what you do. Thank you for that. She has a pretty good example of what you need to do for all of your businesses, because actually the most successful websites are the point and click ones, but those are spam. The second most successful websites are not like mine, but they are more like the page I have that is called Keywebco Website Pack. Check that out. That's new, guys. keywebco.net/website-pack. Check that out. Much more trim. It still has an inordinate amount of information in it. Much less flashy, much more solid-y kind of background, even though I'm very visual. All my businesses are over the top visually. But for another business, I would trim it down even more. But that is a very good example of what you guys need to be making. Now, of course, if it was your only page, you had a one-page website, you would, of course, add your blogs and more to it. But what's successful is a good business plan that has every aspect of that business as a different branch. That's why I had so many websites, so many links. I had a website for my Redbubble site. Now, why would I not just send them to go buy a shirt from Redbubble? I did this trick years ago, and it's a trick that you guys need to be doing now on everything you do. If you have an eBay item, no, let me just go to my Redbubble item. I'll just tell you what I did. I have a Redbubble Draco the Dragon shirt that I own the copyright for. All right. I wanted to sell a few. So I took the Redbubble site and I embedded that one listing on a page. This is in my old Shopify store. I embedded it on a page that I called my Redbubble page on Shopify. Now, this is what an affiliate person would do. And I had just the one item, a link to buy it from Redbubble. So no processing, all free. This is before I had upgraded to embed. I say embed, it was actually a picture and a button. The same thing. So I had my dragon. Now, you might say, okay, you took a page, you copied a listing over, and you put it on your own website. We can see the value of that because when someone wants to see it, they're going to see the picture on your website. And when they go to buy it, they're going to seamlessly go to Redbubble and purchase it. Makes sense, right? That's good for SEO. It's awesome. But what particular value would it have having an entire website page that has just the one Draco the Dragon item for sale that has, of course, multiple products? You know, that's I don't know how many different variations, bags, tote bags, pillows, all that. But the only thing you see on the page, I think I did a t-shirt, is just the t-shirt, the white, plain, simple t-shirt, pretty big, with Draco the Dragon, and the simple one. And then I had a little tiny picture of Pinky. Pinky's the cute one. It's the female version of Draco. A little tiny picture of Pinky down kind of at the foot in a little tiny woman's t-shirt. And that was it. That's the only product you saw on the page. What was the rest of my page? Now, you know I didn't just have one header of single listing. Now, those are the spam pages that you see when you do the bait click stuff. When you do the traffic bar. Guys, I'm going to recommend that. I have traffic bar on my page. You sign up. You put your own websites on there. Unfortunately, it'll have to be HTTPS. You cannot use the free Strikingly websites there. You'll have to have a domain name on it. Or you can use your eBay store, whatever you want. But you sign up for the little traffic bar. It's a little red bar on my page, as you'll see it at keywebco.net. You click it, you sign up for it. Doesn't cost you any money. And what it does is, if you want to embed or put a button on your site, you have to put something on your site somewhere, even if it's a link that nobody can see. But you have to put something on your site that links even your free version site. You can do it. It's a little tricky. I'll explain that in a different video. It's a long procedure. But most of you have .coms or whatnot. So, and then all you do, don't do what I do. I'm big. I have a different marketing system than you guys. What most people would do and what you would need to do, especially if you're selling products, is every day you go to your own site, not my site. Not my site. You don't have to go to my site. You go to your own site and you click your little button or your link. It gives you a little referral link. You click your own referral link every day. It automatically logs in as you, so you don't have to remember a password or anything else. And then at the top of the little bar, you're just going to see, it's nothing fancy. It's just a little bar pops up on the browser, and you're going to see a few little links for some spammy little make money with this. And my traffic bar is one of those spammy little links in there. I'm telling you, this is not something you want to do huge numbers of, but you can make some money and you can get some real traffic, not fake, not bot traffic or something like that. So you tap the links. It gives you 25. It suggests 25 for you to do. I'm making sure everything's working. It suggests 25 for you to do right off. After it's done, it'll give you the option to either keep the points, which eventually turn into money, or keep the hits. I never keep the points. It never amounts to any real money anyway, but I always take the hits. Now, I would recommend you go through the cycle 2 times. That's 50 websites that you probably would look. Some of them you would look at actually. And as a matter of fact, one of my SEO tools I got from someone like me. Some people put blogs and stuff to increase their traffic. Most people there are trying to clickbait. Everyone that looks at it, they get paid a micro penny. Okay, so all of them are all looking at each other's stuff. But there are probably 10-20% at most people like me that use it that actually put our websites and blogs and videos in there. I only put 3 primary sites in there. I put keywebco.net, I put my website pack, which I just made, and I put an invitation, which you guys have never seen. That's another thing I'll talk about in January. So those are there. Now, I hit it about 100, 200 times a day. Not 25 cycles of 100 or 200, but 100 or 200 sites a day. And I'm getting on all 3 of my sites, they rotate. See, you put your link in. As you're clicking others' links, your link shows up in the feed. It works. I get about a 50% return, which means if I click 100 to 150, I get 50 to 75 clicks on all 3 of my sites. Now, they have to stay until the countdown goes to 0 to get their points. That's not so good if they just stay until the countdown goes to 0. But I've been looking at the numbers, and enough people space off when they're on your site or are doing something else, because I do it all the time. I'll come back, oh, I've been on that site 2 minutes, and then I'll click on to the next one, and then I'll go back to doing what I'm doing. So enough people stay on there longer than 30. See, it only has a 10-second countdown, which really keeps you there about 30 seconds. The delay before the timer starts. They time it so you're there 30 seconds. It's really better to stay on someone's website longer. You really should try to stay on a friend's website at least 2 or 3 minutes before you log off. It's good for their Google ranking. However, the number of hits to your site does help. And as long as they're not all just 10 second, 10 second, 10 second, my software doesn't even count those. Okay? They have to stay on there at least 35 to 45 seconds before my software will register they're even there. And then they have to stay 10 more seconds. So I'm giving you the numbers of the people that stay longer than just a quick little 10 seconds when I give you the numbers I get. That is very good. That means people that are on there see the site and they're also marketers and they go, oh, that's a blog. Let me go get a cup of coffee. See, they might see 200 or 300 in a week of here, join our marketing group, or here, give us $500 and we'll tell you how to do what Roger tells you how to do for free. Or, you know what I mean? You those little marketing groups, join our thing, listen to our podcast, watch our TV thing, those kind of, selling things is mostly what you see in the traffic bars. But people like me that are marketers, see, whenever I run across a blog in there, guys, I actually open it up, read it, comment, share it around. So, even though you're using a system that you would not want to use overly excessively, I'm telling you, only do it maybe 50 a day at most, and that'll get you 10 or 20 real hits. And that could be eBay or any link you put in there, as long as it is HTTPS. So now, why is that so important? Why am I talking about it when we're sitting still on Business Plan? Let's go to Tuesday Web. All right, so you've got all your pages. I'm jumping around because we're combining the last topic with this one. You have all your pages. Each page has tags, has information on it that helps it get found by the search engine. Each one of those search engine results that you get that leads to your site, that someone clicks it, is the golden key. But every time someone from social media or a friend or someone using your app or a link inside of a blog clicks your stuff, it might not be the golden key, but it's silver. And you get some little bronze attachment tassels to go with it. The reason that is you get a lot more silver hits than you'll ever get gold hits. So as long as your silver hits are always in very high numbers and at least a 10 to 20% stay longer than just a few seconds, you do all right. And if you can get transactions and click-throughs in there, it's just like social media relevance. All of a sudden you boom up. Now, the reason we're talking about that is when you guys have your websites and January rolls around, even now rolls around, you need to take your websites and you need to look at them and you need to go, okay, I'm looking at Rogers and I can't make heads or tails of anything. Well, you know what? I'm not surprised, because my website is not designed exactly to be easy to follow. And that sounds stupid because that's not what you're supposed to do. But for my business model, I have too many things in one place. I mean, literally, there are hundreds of different things on my websites. And I've got 40 more embeds and little game. I'm going to have a gaming page where you can go in and play all these free web games that are all HTML, all cloud. Don't slow down your computer. Take a minute to load, but you don't have to. After they're loaded, you can play them forever. So I'm adding a gaming page. I'm adding all kinds of things to keywebpro.net. So yes, it's going to be like a platform. It is going to be convoluted and confusing, but I have mammoth traffic already, and I'm doing more things to increase those traffic. I even get some conversions coming from keywebpro.net. Most of the sales I get at keywebpro.com are from affiliates, but I'm getting some sales from people that see my marketing at keywebpro.net. They see an item, they use the buy it link, and boom, it's theirs. I like that. So what am I going to do? Well, keywebpro.com is Shopify. I could build that great, big, and huge. I could embed my Shopify ping into an HTML code and have my chat on a platform that doesn't belong to me, Shopify. Or I can wise up from my mistake from being lazy. I knew a long time ago to make sure I had backups for social media. Why do you think I've been on Minds Network forever? That's a forever backup. It's always there. It's uncontrolled. I have thousands of engagements there, but I don't barely use it. I haven't posted there in 6 months. I think it's been 6 months. I need to get on it. Why haven't I had time? Because I've been spending time in the past, recently past, on Facebook, which I enjoy. I miss talking to everybody. So since I miss talking to everyone, am I going to go back on Facebook? Why? I don't know if I'll be there tomorrow. Nobody does. But I do know that the website that I have my own chat room in, and I have the things that it runs on, it will be there forever. And if there's 2 or 3 people in there that come in once or twice a week just to say hi, that's fine. It's not like I don't have friends. I have thousands of friends in the real world. I even try to avoid people talking to me in public. So I miss the groups a little bit on Facebook, but really not too much was productive done in most any of them. Even my own group, mostly it was me sharing things that other people need, which is fine. I like doing that. But why do it there? And especially since it's been problematic, so I am not. I'm doing it on my own site. There's going to be more reasons in the future for you want to be able to have the skills to do anything you need for your business on your own site. I've been preaching that for a long time, and I need to tell you guys more, but there's just no way I can. But it's important. All right, so we're back to the Helpful Tips e-commerce group. We're almost done, guys. We've got one more scene after this, and then final credits. And I've been on here not terribly long, about 30, 40 minutes. All right, so here we are at the Helpful Tips e-commerce group. Now, let me explain what this is. Helpful Tips e-commerce groups is the newest group that is most relevant to what I'm doing today. I have lots of groups, and I have them still running on Facebook without me being on them for a year. Some of them have been kicked off for a year because I've had no access. I mean, they're still in my name, they still run, and everything's fine, but I haven't had access to some of them for over a year, and they're booming and running fine. I had to post my own stuff as a guest on there. I'm tired of that. So, Helpful Tips e-commerce group is the next level. We are no longer reliant on just, I am a Facebook group. People that are on Facebook will chat here. I'm going to be drawing in people from all over into my own website because they've been asking me to do this in the past anyway. I was supposed to do this after eCom Lab show and I didn't do it. So basically what I put on the back burner for the last, 6 years, 5 years, whatever, 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is, I am just now dusting off and getting going. So here is why we have one more scene left, and it's got loud music. No, it doesn't have loud music. I thought it had loud music. No, it doesn't. Good deal. All right. This is the chat thing. You just enter your name. You set a time and leave a message. I will always get on there about 3 o'clock and say if I can meet you. If you're on mobile, you need to hit the little arrow to see the YouTubes or whatnot. You find everything at the Key Webco menu. Now that's pretty easy. I vlog every morning at 8 o'clock. I check into the video chat at 3, and I have my Helpful Tips show on Thursday. On Tuesday, I chat at what I call my Helpful Tips show. That's supposed to say lobby. I need to move my webcam. Hold on, guys. I can do that live now. Did you know that? They gave us edit features while we're live. I was covering up some of the words there. But, oh, darn it, can't do that because now I've covered up that. Well, this sucks. I'll cover it up a little bit. How's that? I'll cover up a little bit less that way. But, and then every night at 7, I peek in. Sometimes I'm going to sit on the chats. FYI, we're losing frames again. FYI, once we are streaming to YouTube again, then after the Thursday show, I will chat in the keywebco.net chat. I can't do it now because I'll be uploading for the next hour and a half. So that kind of shows you what to do. You can find everything you need at keywebco.net, the group members as well. To join the paid version of my group is to get into the business pack and bundle, but I'm not making a big effort to get paid members. I want free members on the Helpful Tips page with a password. Paid members, I've already got a few. I want to keep those, hopefully. And you guys get the bundle, but you guys are kind of on the back burner until January. I've got a lot of things I'm rolling out for you. But just keep your memberships going. It's only $5 a month. You can surely get $5 worth of graphics or something out of me a month. So keep those memberships going. All right, so you guys can see how it is. You go on the page, you log in with the chat. You write whatever you want. I erase those in the lobby every once in a while. Now, when you schedule a time to meet with me, if there's other people in there, or if I don't feel like erasing the lobby, I'll make a room with a password, and you'll get a pop-up window. You go to the room list on my page. It won't be there until I create it, but you push a button, you go to the room, you enter your password, and poof, you and I'll be there. I can video conference with you. You can be on camera. I can be on camera. We can do that in the lobby if you don't mind if it's public. Some people have simple questions, like, I forgot how to refund a buyer on PayPal. Well, they don't need that in a private chat. They could just go in the lobby. They could use a video, or they could just type it out and say, hey, how do you refund a buyer on PayPal? And if we're both there at the same time, I'll just pop on live and say, hey, hi, this is how you do it. I want to be having conversations with people in my website because that has value to not just me, but my business as well. And time management running HTML chat, and all these things that we've been discussing today all line up for cost efficiency, for effectiveness. And you know what, guys? Oops, wrong button. Sorry, it's giving me drama here. It's jumping around on me. There we go, right back where we're supposed to be. Cost efficiency, having helpful tips available to you for free that other people charge for, low cost or free websites that I can help you get. I'm trying to get everyone ready for the next drama, which of course always starts in the new year. A lot of people are going to find that the things that they've been doing every day, they can't do anymore. And when you find those things out, you're best to have your backup. My backup has always been my websites, and my websites have always paid out. It doesn't matter how much money they generate individually, it matters what piece of your business plan puzzle they are. And that is our show for tonight. If anyone has any questions, let me see if I can find that window. None of my things are labeled correctly. Nope. You guys are going to get dizzy. We'll just go here. If you guys have any questions, or better late than never, exactly. If you guys have any questions or anything that you need to know, just pop over to the chat. If it's a general question you don't mind if I answer it publicly, just leave it in the lobby. Then you don't have to, then it doesn't matter if you talk to me in person or not. If it's a simple question I can answer with a link or something, leave it in the lobby. You look back maybe an hour or two. After 3, I will probably have seen it. So if you leave it in the morning, you look back after 3, oh, there's my answer. And you move on about your day. If you need one-on-one conversation, you can ping, you can use the messages, you can use anything else. Also, I'm going to mention one last thing about that network. I'm keeping that running because that's where I basically talk to Ed, the VA. He's supposed to go over the chat, but we talk so much business, it's inconvenient. If you want, all you got to do is hit that network button at the top, and you can bypass all of my website, and you can leave messages at the Mighty Network. But I only check that every once in a while. So you want my attention, you want to get a hold of me, you go to keywebco.net, you use the chat, you use the pings, use the things that I actually get to see. I don't check any phone messages or anything hardly at all anymore. I don't even have the phone on me. I'm not answering questions all day on Facebook. So why carry that around? I'm getting actual work done. Instead of having one phone that I'm always answering questions with on Facebook, if I do have the phone, I have one phone that I am using to do videos with. I have my laptop that I'm using to write blogs. And then I have the other phone that I am monitoring my employees' images and whatnot as I upload those to Macari. It's going to be like that a lot until next year, because I want to list the 3,000 things I have set aside to get on Macari, and I'm going to help my employee get that cranked out. Because if I go out there and start doing it, it'll be done in 3 days. So I'm not kidding you. It's so quick and easy to do. It's just a matter of me snapping off the pictures and writing up the stuff. He takes a long time. He does a good job, but he does take a long time to do it. And I've got to get this stuff cranked out, because this inventory, remember I had my Dragon Deals live thing? This inventory I was going to burn up in my front yard in January 1st. But because Macari is booming for me and taking off, and I'm literally looking at tens of thousands of dollars worth of stuff that I can go ahead and sell, I'm going to be doing that. Alrighty, guys. Now, you know that if you just want to chat with each other, you're probably doing that on Facebook, but you know you don't have to. You guys can go to the lobby yourself. Like if, Perfect Finds and Lee wanted to go chit-chat, they could go chit-chat in the lobby, or anyone else that they wanted to invite there to chat is fine. Remember, the lobby is going to get read, though, by anyone that logs in, not general public, but anyone that logs in can read what's in the lobby. I erase what's in the lobby periodically. I try to skim through and see if anyone's got any important info in there. If they do, then I might copy it and say, hey, by the way, you guys wrote this. I erased the rest, because I do need to erase that periodically. If you want anything permanently saved, and you are a Helpful Tips, since we are in the Helpful Tips group section, and you're a Helpful Tips group member, then what you do is in the lobby, you'll say, hey, I need someplace where I can get templates for blogs. I'll probably drop a link in the chat in the lobby that's eventually going to be erased. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the Helpful Tips page, my website page, and I'm going to have, it's not there yet, but I'm going to have at the very bottom of the page, it's really boring looking. That's why it's not there yet, because I only have like 20 things to put there. But it's basically just a bunch of links, little tiny icon and a link next to it. And each one of those links will be whatever someone's information that they ask for, if it's not already in an app. If it's already in the app, I'm just going to say go get it out of the app. But if it's something more I need to give you, then it's all going to be on the Helpful Tips page. That is free for them to get to now, but by password only. Once you pay, you get the business bundle, website or not. Okay, so that's what's going on with Helpful Tips. Alrighty, guys, I said I wasn't going to be on here very long. I have hit my time marker, so I think I'm going to let you go. I hope you enjoyed listening to me rattle on and on and on a little bit about e-commerce. I didn't cover any subject really in depth today. I briefly discussed a lot of things to give you some idea of where things are going without really saying too much about how they are going to go there, because that's what I can't really say. I'm not 100% sure how things are going to roll out. If I don't know all the data, I give you as much as I know is safe to give you. So that's what I did tonight. I'm not a news agency. I am a Helpful Tips show. You want to watch the news? There's an awesome show on Sunday. You can go check out Bolarama. Got to give them a little plug. I give Bolarama a plug every show I do. Of course, I don't think they've ever mentioned my show except for when I'm in there. But nobody from there is watching that I expected, except for my members that happen to be over there. But eventually, maybe one or two besides my members will come over to my chat and at least find out if I'm alive or dead. All right, guys. Well, that's it. I'm going to go on to the final credits. Have a wonderful night.